Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Paul Hutchings coming to you with another episode of The Good Parts, where in today's episode, episode 90, I'm going to be talking about what matters most. And in online marketing, what matters most is that you're not muted when you speak during a live stream. I actually just went live and I was muted and I talked for like a minute or two and someone said, we can't hear you. So I had to start and restart. So this is take two. Threw the other one in the trash. That's okay. We make mistakes. We get up and do it again, right? So anyway, in today's episode, I want to share with you something that really inspired me. I got an email from someone that I respect and admire, as I wrote in the description. I mentioned in the live that where I was muted that you couldn't hear me. I'll repeat it so you can hear me now. As I go on in years in life, I find myself appreciating more and more the people that inspire me, the people that have strong character, the people who are committed, the people who are living their best lives every day. And in the process of doing that are inspiring me to do the same. And this email that I got from this person is absolutely one of those people. So I want to share this email with you in the hopes that it can inspire you today as well. And also in the process of doing that, I think that this email outlines, a mistake that we can avoid if we are aware of it. And this mistake is tricky. It pops up from time to time, even though we get the lesson. So I love these reminders, and I hope that you're going to love this reminder too. If you are here live, do me a favor and comment below. Like Nick did. He says, it's okay. We're all human and authentic. Yes, we sure are. Thank you, Nick. Janine Hanners, good morning to you. Thank you for being here. Home business with Ralph and Lindy. Good to see you. Thank you for letting me know my volume is good. Arnita, hello. Bill Rizlov, good morning from Wisconsin. Hello from Idaho. Ashley says, yeah, you're back and I can hear you. Woohoo! Mike Cobb says, woohoo, I heard your original since you were not muted on Zoom. So I get double the benefit. Double the pleasure, double the fun, just like the gum. That's what you get with Paul Hutchings and my amazing audience. And that's also that. I mean, I love highlighting this, but this is a cool thing about doing live content is you don't just get me, you get everyone here. And if I do my job correctly, I will elicit valuable insights and comments from the whole community that's here tuning into these lives. And that's part of my goal. That way we can all learn from each other. And it's not just like I'm some guru on top of a mountain, which I'm definitely not a guru. I don't want to be a guru. I like the idea that I'm leading with people, that we together are leading together. I love that idea. And it's very beneficial to me to think of things that way. So Greg, hello, good to see you. Thank you for the kind words. Christy Hall says, I'm here. Good to see you. Jeff Topper says, I hear from Branson. Thank you for always sharing amazing content. That's my goal. I try, do my best. We'll see. You guys have to let me know if today's content is good. Rita Joy listening with love. Oh, thank you for the love, Rita Joy. And Bill Fever says, good morning. Love the troubles and that we go on through. Yep, that's it. That's live. That's life, right? That's live and that's life. Minister Christian, good to see you. Hey, shout out to you too for being on TV the other day, playing his music. Amazing stuff. Okay, so let's get into this. Here's the email. I'm just going to jump right into it and read you the email. And then I'm going to share a thought or two after I finish. So this email comes from the amazing Amy Starr Allen. She is a great friend of mine, a great leader in home business. And this was the email. What matters most? She writes, hey, Amy here. I'm getting ready to leave tomorrow for a week to go say goodbye to one of my favorite uncles who is at the end of his life. And in the last couple of days, I spent a lot of time rummaging through my dad's boxes of stuff, looking for some of the memorabilia that my uncle asked me to bring. For example, one of his dying wishes is to be able to look through some of his, I'm trying to make this bigger, look through some of his high school, one of his dying wishes is to be able to look through some of his high school yearbooks. So he asked if I could try to find my dad's yearbooks. He also asked me to bring any old pictures I could find. It has taken me a while to find all of the things he asked for, and I was determined to take as much time as I needed to find it all, no matter what. The yearbooks ended up being in a big, heavy trunk that was stashed all the way at the back of my shed, buried under a whole bunch of boxes and other heavy items. So I spent the day yesterday emptying out my shed, and it was kind of insane because it was almost 100 degrees here and it felt like 200 in the shed. But I was happy to do it for my uncle. When I finally unburied the trunk, I opened it up and still couldn't find the yearbooks. The trunk was packed with all sorts of other memorabilia. So I started emptying it out while sitting in the 200-degree shed because the trunk was too heavy for me to move. I found so many old pictures and things. And eventually, when I reached the very bottom of the trunk, I found the yearbooks. Score. Why does this matter? I'm sharing this because it got me really present to things that matter most to me in my life these days. When I first started building a home based business, I thought I was doing it for the money. I wanted a way to make more money than I could make at an hourly job or a salary position and to have no limits in ceilings. That's what was important to me then. And it's still important to me to be in control of my income. But more than the money, what matters to me more than anything now is my time and the people I get to spend it with. I'm so grateful that I got to take care of my dad at the end of his life and sit with him for a week at the hospice center when he was dying. And I'm so grateful that I get to go spend time with my Uncle Jack. And I'm so grateful that while I was rummaging around all day in my hot shed to provide something for my uncle at the end of his life, I still had sales and income coming in, and I didn't even have to think twice about the time that I was spending. That is what matters most to me now. Really, in the end, nothing else matters. And this is why I'm so adamant about residual income, because this is the type of income that has the ability to set us free. Once we have a decent residual income established, the daily work becomes effortless and fun, and then we can have the freedom to focus on the things that matter. Residual income does buy us time. And maybe you are tired of hearing me say this, but I'll say it again nonetheless. This is why it's important to partner with stable, principle-centered companies with good people and good products and services and the utmost integrity, because that's what will stand the test of time. And that's what will provide stability in our lives. And that stability is where true freedom lies. Anyway, these are the thoughts I wanted to share with you as I'm getting ready to leave town to do what may not seem like a good time to many, but it's the most important and meaningful way I can possibly spend my time to me and to my family. And this is what matters most. I have 18 plus years in the home business industry, and I've seen a lot. And until I found this company and this community almost 5 years ago, I seriously thought I was done, because although I was successful, I was not ever able to find anything that offered the stability that I have now. And that stability is everything to me. It's literally all I can think about tonight as I get ready to hit the road yet again to do something meaningful. That is what's on my heart today. So I wanted to send it your way. So I really wanted to share this this message, and I want to share a couple of thoughts on this message. Um, One thought that bubbles up is that when I got started in home-based business, I was excited about the money too and the freedom. I wanted to be free, like Amy talked about. And over the course of my journey in building a business from home, I've seen a lot of different things promoted. I've seen, fancy mansions on beaches. I've seen Lamborghinis. I've seen, these big extravagant lifestyles being promoted. And, I don't have anything against those things, but over my time in business, I've come to realize that the stuff is really not what matters. Being free is much more important than having a bunch of stuff. One of the realizations that I've had recently in my life is that, when I think about where does some of my pain come from, my stuff really is not causing me pain. Like I get some joy from certain things. You guys may know I bought a Tesla recently, which I read somewhere online. Someone said they were talking about their Tesla, and they said this could be my most loved physical possession, and I do like my Tesla. I like it a lot, but it's just a car. It does bring me happiness and fun and stuff, but it's just a car. And it doesn't bring me pain. The stuff I have around me doesn't bring me pain. What are the things that sometimes bring me pain? People are the things that sometimes bring me pain, unfortunately. And people are the items, the entities in my life that bring me the most joy. And so the realization that I'm having is that people are far more important than stuff. And as Amy talked about being able to go be with her uncle at the end of his life, and as she told the story of now, I'll just say this: Amy, just like all of us, she's got stuff going on in her life. She's got problems that are hard to deal with. She's dealing with her own pain, probably just like we all are. And yet, in the midst of that pain that she has, and in the midst of her problems, she stops it all to go out into her shed and find something for her uncle. And she's taking a trip to be with her uncle to alleviate some of his pain and suffering as he's dying. She's going to be there as he's finishing his life. And that really inspires me to think that Amy is that kind of a person. And yes, residual income makes that possible. Time freedom makes that possible, which yes, 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 all of that is great. However, that's not really the point of the message that I wanted to pass along today. To cap this all off, as I was reading about what Amy's doing right now, I had this thought: be the type of person that someone wants to spend their final days with. Be that type of person. Because when you think about your end of days, whenever that comes, hopefully it's far, far, far off into the future. But when our last days finally come, if we have the foresight to know that we're leaving this earth, who are we going to want surrounding us? Who are we going to want surrounding us? As I think about that, I'm thinking I probably only want the best people, the people that I love, the people that I trust, the closest people around me. And so Amy is that type of a person, and she's being offered this gift and this honor to spend these final days with her uncle. And she's taking that opportunity and she's doing it. And I really admire that. As I read her email, I thought about the times where I've had that opportunity. Thankfully, I've had this home business that I've been building, for many years. I've been building residual income. And I remember when my wife found a grandfather that I didn't know that I had. I won't go into all the details of that story, but it's a crazy story, a little bit of a miracle story in our family. But we found this grandfather, a biological grandfather, my dad's dad, didn't even know he existed. And my wife found him. And we flew over to California with my wife and my kids. I flew, we took trips over there, and we developed a relationship with him. And he was at a point in his life where he had no family around him. And so he was so happy and thankful to find out that, oh, wow, I've got a grandson, I've got a granddaughter-in-law, I've got grandkids. What a gift that is. And so we got to develop these great relationships with him. And there came a time where I received a phone call that he was in the hospital. His doctor called me and said, your grandpa's here in the hospital and he doesn't have much time left. And I was able to drop everything and fly to California to be there in the hospital room with him. And I was the only one there. And when I got there, he was so happy to see me. He was kind of drifting in and out of consciousness, but he grabbed my hand and I held his hand, and I spent the night and the next day, and I stayed there with him as he was leaving this earth. And that was a very special time for me to be able to be there with him. When my grandmother, Carol, who passed on a few years back, when she was in the hospital, she'd had a few strokes and she was in the hospital for her last days. I got word that there was a moment that she was in there. She was supposed to be dying at any time. And I found out she was there all by herself. And I didn't want that. I didn't want that for her to be by herself in her last moments. Someone that was there for me through my entire life. She was always there. It didn't seem right that she was going to be by herself in these last moments. And so I dropped everything. And thankfully, my wife, she says, go, I've got the kids. I'll run things at home. You go and you be with your grandma. And so I took my grandmother's, some of her favorite songs, And I drove to the hospital and I sat there next to her, just like with my grandpa. And I held her hand and I played her favorite songs. And I just sat with her in her last few hours here on this earth. And it was a very special time. And I was able to say things to her that that I wanted to say to her. I wanted to tell her thank you for being such a light in my life. And so I guess to wrap this all up, it's like in life, there's so many things that we think matter, so many things we think matter. The type of car we drive, the type of house we live in, how much money we have in the bank account, how much money we don't have in the bank account. We think all these things matter, and they all do, they all matter. They all have their time and place. But at the end of the day, at the end of our lives, what will really matter? What will really matter? I think what will really matter is the type of people that we've been, the way that we have lived our lives. Did we shirk our responsibilities? Did we avoid our responsibilities? Did we make commitments and not follow through with them? Were people able to count on us? Did we do the best that we could to live in a way that could be a message, a positive message for people? One of the quotes I have in my office says, "This life is your message to the world. Let it be extraordinary." I think those are going to be the things that matter, that really matter at the end of the day. And so this message that Amy wrote, while it is about residual income, it's really not about residual income. It's about being a top quality person. It's about being someone that does the right thing when the right thing presents itself. And Amy also wrote in that message that she's had success in a lot of different businesses. And this will be the final thing that I touch on before I close out the live for today. And I'm so thankful for all the comments, guys. I'm going to read them all, so stick around for that. But the last thing that Amy mentioned is she said, "I've been successful in home business in a lot of different things." But she said, "Never until now have I had stability," which is what is really important to her. And that matters to me because the stability that she's talking about is with a company that I co-founded. And the reason that I co-founded this company was because I too wanted stability. I didn't want to be in something that was here today, gone tomorrow. I didn't want to be in something that was teaching people the wrong things, focusing on the wrong things. I wanted to be in something that I could be proud of. And so when Amy read that, I was so thankful from the bottom of my heart that the reason that we created the business that we're building, stability, trust, longevity, Amy is now expressing gratitude for, and she's being able to spend her uncle's last days with him because of the stability that we together have created with this community that we're building. And I'm just so thankful for that. And we can all be stabilizing forces in the world. I think the world needs more stabilizing forces. I think there's a lot of confusion in the world. I think there's a value crisis going on in the world right now, where people don't know what to do. They don't know what to believe. They don't know what to look to. They don't know. It's because like things are falling apart, institutions that people have trusted. They're finding maybe they couldn't trust those institutions as much as they thought they could. And so what do you do in a situation like this? I mean, there's a lot of things we can do. But one thing that makes sense to me is the line from Gandhi where he said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." If you have examples of people around you violating your trust, if you have examples of institutions around you not honoring your trust, and that hurts and you don't like it, what should you do about it? How about you be the change you wish to see? How about you become a stabilizing force in your family? How about you become a stabilizing force in your community? How about you become a stabilizing force in your business? How about you become a stabilizing force in society? And we can all do that. And it just boils down to doing the best we can to be the best we can and showing up every day and following through with the commitments we've made and letting people know that our feet back up our words. And what does that do for people? It gives them an example to follow. It gives them an example. It shows people that, man, there's great people in the world who tell the truth, who say what they mean and mean what they say, who show up and follow through and they get the work done and they do it and they do it and they do it. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. And we all need people like that. So Amy is a person like that for me. I'm thankful for Amy. And I just wanted to share this message because it was on my heart. And I found in business that the more I share what's in my heart and on my heart, the better it touches people and the more effectiveness I am, the more effective I am. So that's it, guys. I'm going to jump to the comments. I appreciate everyone for tuning in today and leaving all the kind words. I'm going to get to those. I do these lives every day, Monday through Friday. If you got value from this episode and want more from me, I would love to encourage you to follow me on social media. And or you can subscribe to my email list and be sure to get these messages and other messages in my email newsletter. And you can do that by going to paulhutchings.net/GIFTS, pick up a free gift along the way. And with that, I'm going to jump to the comments here. Nick Romani says, you are an amazing soul, Paul. You just go out of your way to serve and help people in a real way. No fake-o here. No fake-o. Thanks, Nick. And I appreciate that all the way to my soul. I appreciate that. And I see that in you too, Nick. Here's the thought. If you work every day for service, you'll never be broke a day in your life. I like that thought. Nick also says, Amy is just a super kind soul and driven by principles and defends those principles with her heart and soul. She serves so much, I can't even see straight. Accurate. Ashley says, wow, such a powerful message. Thank you, Ashley. Gregory Napier says, this is one of the main reasons I love the Home Business Academy, the love that is shared all over the place here. I was like Amy also, all I wanted was the money. Yeah, appreciate that, Greg. Delroy says, hey, Delroy, thanks for saying hello. Kevin Costa says, always great to be here. Thanks, Paul. Thanks for being here, Kevin. Thanks for commenting. Freedom. Love the sound of that. It resonates with my soul. I can feel it. Yeah. Freedom. Janine says, I totally agree. My hubby passed away with cancer. So sorry to hear that, Janine. I still had to go to work even in his last days. I would have given anything for time, freedom. That's powerful. Janine, thank you for sharing that. Linda says, Amy's message is so powerful and so true. And thank you, Paul and Mike, for creating this opportunity for a stable and principle-centered income. Our pleasure, Linda. Thank you for the comments. And we're all creating it. You know, I like to think that we're all creating it and we're all giving each other, the examples that we want in our lives. So thank you, Linda, for being such an important part of that. Amy is awesome. I agree. Danny says, time is everything, more important than objects you have. Time is wealth more than money. Love you, Amy, and this community. Great comment. Bill says, as I get older, the time I have left is rapidly dissipating. I got a call from a close friend who has been fighting mouth cancer. I cherish that call more than money. Thank you for sharing that, Bill. And I see you making the most of the moments that you have. And that's all any of us can do. Regardless of how much time we have left, just making most of the moments. Bill says, Amy, if you read this, you're in my prayers. I know she'll appreciate that, Bill. Linda says, be the kind of person that someone would want to spend their last moments with. Wow. Yeah. Wow. You know, Ashley says, oh, wow, Paul, so glad you had that opportunity too. I had that moment with my grandfather and my mother. It was such a blessing to care for them in their last days. And I admire that so much. You know, it really, I don't know that everybody is going to be someone who wants to go do that. But there are certain people who just feel that they need to do that. So kudos to you, Ashley. I think that says a lot about you and your character. Janine says, such a blessing, Paul, for you to be able to be with them. Absolutely. Nick says, that's why I believe in you, because you're a good man. I try. That's all we can do is try. Thanks, Nick. Tina says, I love you so much, Paul. You are such a light in my life, and so many others too. Thank you so much. I love you too, Tina. And I hope you got my email response. I appreciated that email you wrote me, and I did write back. So I want to make sure you got that. David says, hello. Hey, David. Bill Fever says, Paul, God has his hand on you. The way people touch you is a real gift from God. Also, when you are moved, you act very important. Thank you so much. Ashley Casper says, you're just such a beautiful... See, this is why I like reading my comments, because people say so many nice things about me. So it's kind of selfish. You're such a beautiful soul, Paul. Thank you for sharing and just being you. Thank you, Ashley. You spot it. You got it. Danny says, my children tell me I'm their rock and safe place. Way to go, Danny. Thank you. Kids need rocks. Kids need a safe place. Thank you for being that type of an influence for your kids. I know that will be with me at the end. I'm so grateful to be your friend, Paul. Your heart is overflowing. I appreciate that. I'm so grateful to be your friend. I'm just hoping my kids don't unplug my life support to charge their phones at the end. Did you guys see that meme? I thought that was funny. Kristen says, thank you for sharing your heart and helping us all create stability in our lives. My pleasure, Minister Christian. Thank you for sharing yours and giving me space to share mine for so long. Nelson says, Paul, thank you for your wonderful sharing this morning. Amy spending time with her uncle was absolutely pivotal. The HB's 80% residual monthly commission made it possible for Amy to be with her uncle. Freedom is so crucial. The pain in life is that we are short of what we desire to give: time, money, travel, and friendship. HBA eases and eliminates that pain. Thank you, Nelson. That's the goal for sure. David says, hey, Paul, thanks for this message. It brought me to tears as I remember the loss of my father, mother, and 2 younger siblings. Thanks for what really matters, being the best we can. I appreciate that, David. And, for people that we've loved and admired that have gone before, what do we do now that they're gone? We pick up the torch and we carry it. And we do what you said, David. We be the best that we can. We carry on a legacy. We enhance the legacy. David Haynes, what's up, brother? Long time no see. Great message. Thank you so much. Love you too. Lonnie Hogan says, powerful message, Paul. As I sat watching your live today, I just received the message from my mom saying my sister-in-law's father just passed away. Our time is short and knowing our priorities is critical. Yep. Very wise. I agree. Rita Joy says, Christian had such a mystic time with his mother as she transitioned. Yeah. So that's it, guys. A little bit of a different message today. Thanks for tuning in. I will be back tomorrow. And between now and then, I hope you take action, go for your dreams, be good to people, love people, serve people, advance the worthy, just causes that you have in your life, and know that better things are waiting for you in your future. I believe that's true for all of us as long as we continue to learn, grow, take action, and get better. So thanks, everyone, and bye for now.